Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new podcast episode. I am here with Colin. Say hello.
Hi.
Why do you sound like that? He's like,
Hi.
hello.
Teletubbies.
Anyways, today we're going to be talking about what it is like being on live television or national television, because I have been on a television show and he has been on two.
The Price is Right for you.
I was on The Price is
No,
Right show.
Well, I've been on like
Three.
TV. Yeah.
Three. What?
Go.
Go. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was on Live with Kelly and Ryan back
That
when
was
we were
live
5.
TV, so that was a lot more nerve-wracking.
A lot of pressure. And then Little Big Shots, which was not live TV.
But it was still nerve-wracking because there was like 100 people just watching.
It was a live audience. And then he was on Go, which was just taking clips from your YouTube.
Yeah.
So there was like literally no pressure with that. And then mine was not live TV, but it was also a live studio audience there. So Colin, we'll start with you because we'll talk about Live with Kelly and Ryan because that's our first ever family going to a TV show ever. Our whole family went. It was literally during my...
Maggie was in shock because she is obsessed with like the host.
Ryan Seacrest, I've been watching American Idol since I was a kid, so that was...
He's not on the show anymore.
American Idol?
No.
Oh, with Live with Kelly and Ryan? Yeah.
It's
Kelly and Mark now. It's her husband, I'm pretty sure, is the co-host. Ryan isn't on it, but when Colin was on it, he got to be with Ryan Seacrest, and Ryan Seacrest is actually like someone I've looked up to for so long because he was the host on American Idol. I always dreamed of being on American Idol.
Because she sings
but I never...
Let's pull up that clip on here.
That's enough. But I've always wanted to meet him, and Colin made my dreams come true. So our whole family got to fly out there. He was only 5, but I was a junior in high school. I missed school for it, and I remember telling my teachers...
Owen played Subway Surfers during it.
You remember that?
Yeah.
But I remember telling my teachers that I was missing school because my brother was going to be on national television, and that was like the biggest flex ever. And it wasn't even me, it was you.
Like when I was leaving, I was like taking all the school stuff, and everyone was like, "Bye!" And there's like 20 people just lined up at the door, and I was giving high fives to everyone.
Yeah, you were so okay. So he was like so cute on this show. Did you feel like the pressure because you were only 5?
I was 5. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah,
I just knew. I thought I was doing a trick shot for like a different YouTube channel, and like I knew it was live TV. And then I was just doing it, and there was an audience, and I wasn't really nervous because I was just like, it's just doing my stuff.
Yeah,
and
like
I do it a ton.
Because you grew up being on camera with filming and stuff, so it was like natural.
But I was like 5. I'd only been doing stuff for like 3 years at the time.
And like
I had school all day.
Being on that type of television is very different than YouTube because when we're doing YouTube, like it's Matthew behind the camera. But there were lots of crew members. There were lots of cameras. You were mic'd up, everything. It was very professional because it was a professional production. Like, the show was very professionally done. So, I just don't think you understood the extent to which it was, like, professional at that age because you were so little. But you did so well. I think you did mess up.
I messed up once. But it was on, like... They didn't have the right water bottle to do it on, but I still made it second try.
So he basically was point stacking on a water bottle with his dice, where he like puts the dice in the air and then stacks it on there. But you weren't able to do that.
I messed up once. It was kind of it was awkward because it was live television.
Yeah, like you can't cut. Like if he messes up, then everyone already sees it. Like
it's like you can watch it like after because. Like, there's, like, rewinds of some shows, so...
Yeah, so it's like, on TV now.
On TV.
Like, you can see it, but it was one of the most popular videos.
It's, like, 4th most popular video on their YouTube channel.
On their YouTube channel. It did really well, because you're just this little kid, and you're, like, flying dice. Like, it was so bizarre, but that was, like, truly a fun experience.
I wish I was on more TV shows. There's been so many shows where, like, I've been wanting... They've, like, asked me, and then it hasn't turned out.
Just because, like, with COVID and everything and traveling and school.
So, COVID took away, like, 2 years, and then we got a couple of calls, and then, like...
Just hasn't worked out. But, honestly, like, you're still young. I'm
Hopefully
sure
I'll
you'll get in some in the future.
2 more.
But do you remember when we were at Live with Kelly and Ryan, there was a green room that we were in, and there was just food everywhere?
I remember that.
They had, like, bagels.
Matthew was loving it.
Because we're all gluten-free, so you couldn't eat
Besides
anything. Besides Matthew. So Matthew was at the snack table. I don't think he actually had that much, because we weren't in the green room for very long.
They had to go out early.
So, yeah.
I was in there for a while, though, because they were doing their show.
Yeah, you were, like, practicing and stuff.
I remember I was just sitting with my dad. I was so nervous. Because I was just like...
So you were backstage.
I'm like, I have to be on a TV show in 3 minutes, and then they call me up. And I give everyone high fives, and then I go over to my family.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what was really happening. So I go and I sit with them. And then Ryan Seacrest has to pull me
we
all
were
the way
in the front
up.
row. We were in the front row, all the family. We all got to sit in front row seats in this live audience. And then Colin was backstage, and he comes out. But they must have not really told you where to go, because you come up to us, and Ryan's like, no, you have to get on stage. So
I go, and she drags me over.
He's like, Ryan's like coming chasing you down, because you come up naturally to your family, because that's who like you're used to spending time with. But then
I had to do it, and I was just staring at Owen, and I was like, the disrespect. Bro's playing Subway Surfers when I'm on live television.
He was playing Subway Surfers while you were on television?
Yeah, they have videos of it, like, on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
So I remember...
Like, they had a view of, like, our family, and then you could see Owen playing Subway Surfers.
Actually?
Yeah.
I did not even realize that.
It was funny.
We still watch that show back, like, now, and see, you were so young compared
to how you
are now.
because if I'm on shows, like, now, it wouldn't be as, like, funny, because I was so tiny. It wouldn't be as cute,
because you were, like, that cute little 5-year-old. I still think it would be pretty fire, because you still are cute. But then, okay, so that was your, when you were in 5. And then he was on Live with
we got to go to New York and stay in, like, some nice hotel.
That was our first time ever flying, too.
I was
scared.
I wasn't scared, because I didn't know what flying was. I just thought, I didn't know that, like, planes could go wrong. So I was just like, go plane, come on. Why are they talking about safety? I was like, I just want to get there. And I, like, didn't put on my seatbelt for a little bit, and I got in trouble.
Because we had never flown before.
I've never flown in my life, and I didn't think it was serious, because I'd been in the car. We'd driven to Florida.
Yeah, we drive. Like, we're a huge road trip family. Like, if we're going on vacation, we usually drive.
But we've been flying.
We've been flying more, because it's just so much to drive with.
Flying. We drove to California.
Oh, that was the worst.
And now we fly every time.
That was honestly like a horror.
It was the worst trip ever, because we got COVID.
We got COVID on the trip, and we had to drive 30 hours.
And we had to be in California and Arizona for like a month,
because we were like stranded there.
Waste of my summer.
It was.
I wish I was during school.
It was not. It was not a waste of our summer. It was still. That was honestly.
Sorry, teacher, if you're watching this.
I'm your teacher.
Oh dang it! I forgot.
I'm still. That was still like a really, really fun summer, in my opinion. It was
because when we got back, like, we had cousins over. Yeah, we went to our cousins, and then like other cousins.
It was still a really fun summer. It was just a tough moment. But so Colin, he was on that show Live with Kelly and Ryan, and then he went to California.
Like a year later, we get a call. They're like, "What do you want to be on Live with Kelly?" Little Big Shots, and they're like, "Sure," but they had it like a year and ahead, and we're like a whole year to wait.
So they're like, it's a long process. It's not like
because they have to find a time for you to do it.
They also had a whole set with this one. Yeah. Like Live with Kelly and Ryan had.
They made my hair. They did my hair. They sprayed stuff on it. They were like putting clothes on me, and I was like, I felt like a king. It was so cool, because I was just thinking, when I was like getting my hair done and they were doing stuff and like getting dressed and like getting massages, I'm like, I would be at math class right now.
Yeah,
that's what I always think when I'm on like TV shows and on trip for YouTube.
Yeah, so this TV show actually happened right before COVID.
It was like a month before, so if it happened like a month later, then
you were so lucky to get this over.
Like, I got called more shows, and then COVID struck.
Yeah, so this happened at the end of January. We filmed it at the end of January, and we had to fly out to California for this one. We had to miss like pretty much a whole week of school with this one. I remember missing it, but I did all my work in advance, so I wasn't super.
I know. I had to do school with like other famous kids.
Yeah, he had to get.
I had to get tutored.
You had like set time set aside to catching up on schoolwork, because he did have to miss. And then you had a makeup crew, costume crew. Like, you were all...
And they're like... And they put on, like, makeup on me. I'm like, I'm a boy.
You're also 8. You were, like,
seven.
8-year-old little kid.
7.
I feel like I didn't wear makeup till I was, like, I don't even know how long. But it's for the camera so you don't look, like, washed out. Like, even
like, they were, like, putting water on my face so I didn't look tired. It was, like, weird. They're like, don't be tired on the show. They're like, you want to look good.
Yeah, so we all were in California for a whole week for this.
And I was in just first grade, and I remember when I came back, like, I was, like, a celebrity from school. Like, my teacher was, like, going crazy, and, like, my friends were all, like, oh... And then, like, there were, like, older kids saying, like, you're so famous.
And this one wasn't live, so it was, I would say, probably less pressure, but there was a big studio audience for this
100 people.
And we went and watched it. It was super cool because it was filmed on the Warner Brothers studio lot. So we got to see, like, we were in the same set place that Fuller House was filmed on, which was one of my favorite shows when I was younger.
We went by, like, the house, too.
Yeah, we got to see a bunch of, like, cool sets from, like, other shows. We saw the Friends couch, like, a bunch of cool things.
What?
You weren't there. You were, like, backstage during this part. But
I know, because I remember I was, like, going to Warner Brothers Studios. You guys were getting ice cream. Yeah. And I was just getting driven, like, in the VIP section to, like, secret tunnels. And I'm like, I'm Batman.
So he got to go, he had to go a couple days earlier than us to do, like, rehearsals and stuff. So while you were there... We kind of just hung out. Like, we didn't.
I got tutored a lot, and like I had to get tutored every day at Warner Brothers Studios.
Yeah, like you were living the life. I would say. Like you were.
They were like offering us like drinks, and I was like,
Didn't they have like snack room and all that?
They had a snack room, and they were like offering stuff to me that I'm allergic to.
Yeah, because you're gluten free. But it was super. Like you got to like live. Like
they gave me some food.
TV star. Like that was my dream.
I know.
Growing up,
I hope that happens in like again.
Yeah. I, like, literally as a kid, like, I always dreamed of, like, being on a TV show, like, and I'm living vicariously through you, because you're the closest I'll get, but I had so much fun, because we got to go, obviously, see the Colin performing on it, and you did so well in Little Big Shots.
It was, like, I had to do such hard things, because it wasn't live TV, so they were having me do, like, a 12-stack, and I did it.
So you were, but the audience was so engaged with him.
I know.
So engaged. Like, they loved you.
They were like, oh! Yeah. And, like, on the show, when I was watching it, like, I remember, like, my friends were, like, sending my mom videos of, like, them, like, watching it, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, the thing with that one, too, is you filmed it in January, but it took a long time before it even came out, so it was just...
It didn't come out until mid-COVID, and...
Yeah, so it was a long time.
It came out in July.
Was it July?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but that one also is very popular.
It was so hard to keep it a secret to some people because you couldn't tell some people.
It's like
besides my class.
Yeah, it's an exciting little adventure with that. But so during that same exact trip, my mom, Tommy, and I decided we wanted to go to The Price is Right, which is a game show we had been watching.
I pretty much made her get The Price is Right, so I should get all the...
It was a TV show that I basically have been watching since we were kids. Like,
I've never seen you watching that besides the episode.
When we were kids, we used to watch it. It's obviously different. I don't even know how it is really now because I have not watched it recently. But when we were kids, that was one of the only channels we had on our TV. So we would watch that one and we'd watch Let's Make a Deal, which were 2 game shows on in the mornings. And I remember, like, my mom had always dreamed of going to The Price is Right. And
didn't they, like, go to, like, that one show and like didn't get anything?
What?
Didn't they go to like a game show and try to get on?
Oh, they went. Okay, so our parents also went to Price is Right Live, which is really different. It's like a traveling Price is Right, but it was like very different than the actual show. Like it wasn't on TV. It was like just for like fun. But we went to the real taping of The Price is Right, and we were there. It was the week of your filming, and so we were like, let's just go and try to get like in the background. So we went, and when we were there...
weren't they, like, asking questions for you?
Yeah, you had to go through this process. It took a really long time where you're waiting in line. There were tons of people, and they were all wearing shirts that were like, it's my birthday, or like, I've been wanting to meet Drew Carey for like 10 years. I've been trying for 10 years. And so I was just wearing like normal clothes. Like I was literally wearing normal clothes. We had decided
Tommy was wearing like a YouTube shirt that said like subscribe to That's really? Amazing.
No, was it?
What was it then?
I think we were wearing just plain clothes. We were not wearing any merch.
I thought Tommy wore some merch.
No, I'm almost positive we didn't wear any merch. It was just straight, like, random t-shirt, jeans, nothing. So I was like, there's no chance I'm going to get called up. My mom's going to get called up. Tommy's going to call up.
She got lucky.
We're just going to go for fun. And I'm pretty sure I was the youngest person there because you have to be 18 or older to be on the show. And
right as I turn 18, I'm going to be on it. Yeah. I'm going to get a call and they're going to be like, we want you.
I don't think that's how it works. But I had turned 18 like 2 weeks prior to going to the show. And then you had to answer like some questions and stuff, and like you talked to a couple of like producers, and then you waited in line for a really, really long time. It was like we were in line for hours, like 4 or 5 hours.
Well, I was just on going to the studio of Little Big Shots.
So we finally get into the room.
Like I get back from rehearsal from Little Big Shots.
We know.
I know.
So we get into the room.
Oh, by the way, we never told you this. We got yogurt.
Okay, well, we'll get to that after. There. Wait, really?
Yeah, when you were at the Price is Right.
Okay, Yogurt is like the best soft serve ice cream place we've ever had. It's incredible.
It's amazing. If we ever go there to California,
if any of you are from California, it's the best.
Go there, can you guys ship us some?
Please, it's so good. But anyways, we get into this audience, and you kind of just like pick seats. So Tommy, my mom, and I are in the back, and I'm on the end, sitting on the end. And someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, can you switch spots with Tommy? And I was like, okay. But like that's the only information I got. So I thought like my shirt like was like too bright or clashed or something, or they wanted I had no idea why they moved me. So I moved in, the show starts, there are people called up, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden my name is called. And I was like, that is what I was like.
She literally ran up like that.
I was so caught off guard because I just was so unprepared. Just like there were tons of people there.
There were not millions of people. There's like
exaggeration, but there were tons of people there, and I was like, there's no shot I'm gonna get called up. And lo and behold, I get called up. And a very embarrassing moment on the show is when you get up, they have like some item, a smaller item, and you try to guess the closest to the retail price. And it was a trip to Huntington Beach, California. And I said $23,000 on accident instead of $2,300. I ended up correcting myself, but it was on live television, so couldn't really correct myself close enough.
It was not live television.
It wasn't live. It was pre-filmed, but it was like they didn't cut anything really. Like it was like straight. Maybe they did. I don't really know much about behind the scenes, but I got mic'd up during a commercial break, and I'm down there, and I'm just like freaking out. I kept turning back to look at Tommy and my mom in like the way back, and I'm like, I really need someone up by me. Like I'm stressing out. Like I'm not fit for this. I don't know the prices of anything. I'm 18. I just turned 18. I'm the youngest one here. I don't know anything. Like everyone I was competing against was probably at least like 30, and I was like, what? How am I here? But I ended up winning.
Kat, this is something even crazier. When we were about to watch it, she unplugged the TV on accident. She was going.
We'll tell the story about that too. But I was like, honestly, it was the best moment of my entire life. I had so much fun. I ended up winning the trip to California, which was honestly one of my favorite.
We also won a bedroom set that has not came yet.
Okay, a bedroom set that we were supposed to get delivered to our old house, but then we moved, so I kept canceling the delivery. So it's completely my fault, and I still have to figure that out. But I got a 55-inch TV that's now in our living room. That is from The Price is Right. It was
you should have gotten a PC instead.
Well, that wasn't an option. And then I won this really nice bedroom set. And it was honestly like the biggest dream come true. Like all the other contestants were so nice. Drew Carey was great. I literally could not believe I was on that stage in front of all those people and on television. It was so surreal. And I loved being able to see everyone's reactions to seeing it. But now going back to what Colin was saying, we went to go watch the TV show. And on our old TV, we couldn't, it was like a really old TV. We only had one TV in our house. And every time you unplugged...
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We
only Mom's had TV.
But we only had one TV that worked for... Owen got new shoes, and he is showing Colin. Do you want to show the podcast?
Mine.
These are mine. Okay, well...
What?
All right, Owen. We got to finish this.
Yo, Micah has
But anyways, we were about to watch the show, but with our TV, if it ever unplugs, it has to reboot, and it takes like 10 minutes to reboot. So we're about to watch the show. The show gets on. I see myself in the crowd, and I'm jumping up and down, and I stepped on the cord, and it unplugged.
I know, she was blocking the view for everyone, and everyone's like, move.
And so I move. And
no, you don't move. You just unplug the TV.
Yeah, and so it unplugs, and it needs to reboot, and it stops recording when it is unplugged. So the recording didn't work, and it was unplugged. I started crying. I was so sad because I was like, I'm going to miss myself.
You could have just asked someone to send you a video.
I know, but it's not the same when you're so excited, like waiting for this day to come of when it's broadcasted, and then to mess it up like that was so sad. We ended up luckily getting on the TV rebooted, and it was on by the time I got called up, but it was like very close call for me.
Like right as we turned it on, it said like Maggie.
Yeah, it was so stressful.
But it said Margaret because her actual name's Margaret.
Yeah, they called me Margaret on the show.
Imagine having the name Margaret.
That also threw me off because I wasn't expecting to get called up as Margaret. Like when they first said Margaret, I was like, what? But then I connected the dots.
And everyone else was like, oh! Yeah. There's like this other Margaret, and they're like, wee! No,
a different Margaret goes up. But it was like, honestly, the coolest experience ever. I'm like, in my life, my goal has been to like be on a TV show, like preferably a TV show that's like a reoccurring, like where I'm like on it like every week. That's obviously not happening because I live in Wisconsin and it's just not realistic.
Just move.
I know.
And you could try out. I thought you acted in plays, so.
I used to do acting a lot. I love acting. If any of you guys know any.
She's low-key bad though, so. She didn't get the main role that she wanted, by the way, in a couple of them, so.
Okay, but I also did have really good experiences in it, but...
We also learned how to bottle flip at her show.
Yeah, back when I was in a musical. Was it Annie when I was Annie? I was Annie and that's a really, like, mouthful.
I was Annie and Annie.
Instead of them watching the musical, they were bottle flipping.
Yeah. So, pretty cool day. Made our first ever bottle flip.
Well, I'm glad to that I was part of it, but... What was your favorite, like, overall experience, like, being? Like, what was your favorite part of it?
Getting to go to, like, just being on live TV and going to, like, the Warner Brothers studios.
Yeah.
And getting to see all that stuff and getting to, like, meet celebrities.
Yeah. Like, Melissa McCarthy, who was the Little Big Shots. I have seen her on Gilmore Girls, which is a show you have obviously not seen.
How do you know? Oh, are you talking to me? I thought you were talking to the people.
But I've seen, like, literally the entire show, so meeting her was so surreal for me. Because I get to meet all my favorite celebrities because of you, so appreciate it, bro.
I also get to meet Steph Curry and Brandon Podziemski and the whole Warriors team and Damian Lillard. Me and Damie buds.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening to this episode.
I was on, like, Go.
Yes, Go is it's a television show.
It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney, is it?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like where you had to go in and film like the
They just took my clips.
They just took clips.
Like it was called like Go Greatest of All Time, and it was like the craziest like things.
Yeah, and we've also been on like local news and stuff.
I've been on it a ton,
which was always fun to film with like.
I remember we've been on Subway commercials during the NBA finals.
The Subway commercials was really cool. That was back in.
I was watching the NBA finals and I go, "That's me."
That was crazy. And it came on before the ball dropped on New Year's Eve one year because my friends were texting me like, Maggie, we didn't know you were on a commercial. And I was like, I didn't know it was going to be on that at that point either. And we weren't even watching it. And I was so bummed. But we did see it on television like other times, which was a cool experience. But I
was at my grandparents' house and then I saw like someone on a live television, like ESPN, something reacting to my clip. And I was like,
oh, really?
What? Remember that when I did like the over the house shot?
Oh, yeah.
And on ESPN.
We've had a lot of very cool experience thanks to you two, but
thanks to me.